I was reading up on some other things I would like to talk to you about because I think it's very vital to the future of the NCAA. This name, image, and likeness rule that's going to come into play for schools like Louisville, West Virginia, these kind of smaller schools that don't have these massive boosters. You said that you're a little bit worried that this could potentially become a problem because how do they keep this on the rails of just people signing autographs without boosters getting involved? Am I accurately depicting what your thoughts on this whole thing is?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a lot of things and a lot of tentacles that will be coming out of this that we really don't know what's going to happen. I'll worry about athletic departments. If I'm a donor to an athletic department, let's say Louisville, and I usually give, $50,000 to the athletic department, maybe I want to give to a player now so I can, befriend that player and maybe, when that player becomes an NFL, player, then I can hang out with him a little bit more. I don't know. We don't know what the tentacle is going to be like. You also have programs where the boosters, they probably don't care. They'll give as much money as they can to get players. It's gonna get into recruiting. For a high school player. Maybe agents are going to start getting 9th and 10th graders now to say, hey, we're going to brand you to when you become a college player and your name, image, and likeness comes up. Then we're going to have a plan for you to make more money. I don't know. There's a lot of different things that could come out of this.
I feel like after reading about you a little bit, I think you do care a lot about your players. And I think seeing your players maybe get a little bit of money to kind of live and maybe take care of their family a little bit is something that you're not against. I've always been like, hey, I think guys should be able to make money off their name. But once you start digging into it, how do you stop schools like, and now granted, this is a school that probably is going to come out of nowhere for this, like Houston. I mean, Houston has a lot of oil money down there. They got a lot of businesses down there. How do you stop a school like Houston or Alabama, who has a lot of boosters, or Clemson, or these people at the top? How do you stop them from not making promises to these players that, hey, our boosters will have you do an autograph signing and make big money? How will they regulate that ever? And is it going to become just a free-for-all once this rule becomes, and is that what your fear is?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the fear, and you're right. How do you regulate it? That's the whole question. I'm all for players being able to make money off themselves. I mean, that's great. I mean, we're in a capitalist society where I feel like you should be able to make money off your name. What I worry and my fear is that you can't regulate it. It's going to be, the recruiting piece. We can't hardly regulate recruiting anyway now. I'm in an NCAA level. Now we're going to say, okay, now it's legal to pay players and bringing them in. I just don't know where it's going to stop. I do worry about that because I love the game of football. I've always been around since I was 7 years old. I love it. I love the fact that you can go out into such a pure sport. Now, we know big businesses come into college football now. It's been that way for years, but now it's becoming even a bigger business with this and the way this is going to work. Also, look at social influencers now with these young people. They're making money now by if they got 1 million followers, how much money they're making. Think about Lamar Jackson when he was at Louisville, and what kind of impact he would have had, or Trevor Lawrence now at Clemson. The sky's the limit for those type guys. They'll make a ton of money.
It's very interesting because you're a coach who's probably going to be able to benefit from this. And now, granted, I assume you're completely okay with going and staying at Louisville and you love your time at Louisville, but everybody understands how college football works. If you're a successful coach like you are, both at Appalachian State and at Louisville and the places you were before, there's a chance you're going to get a big-time school. But that's kind of the fear, right, is that schools like Louisville, who sometimes come out as nowhere as Cinderella stories, or a West Virginia team that came out of nowhere for a good 4 years, those things are going to potentially be obsolete. Is that kind of the fear of the whole thing?
Well, I mean, it could happen. We just don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. I think one of the great things about college sports is the parity that we have. March Madness is the biggest sporting event, arguably, that we have throughout the calendar year. It's because a Cinderella, a Butler basketball team may go play in the Final Four. That's what we love about it. And if we're going to create this model where, the rich are going to get richer and the ones that have the money and they're able to put the money into these guys, they're going to be getting the best players. They get them anyway a lot of times, but they're going to be getting them even more now. I just worry about that. Then also I worry about the model. Are we becoming the NFL as far as, the pay scale goes?
Yeah.
I worry about that also. I just love the purity of the sport that we have now where people come together and for one cause, for us as a team, we go win. Now we're going to become a more individualized sport. What if I'm the second team running back? And I'm getting my 500 yards for the season, but I'm not getting the kind of endorsements or NLI type thing, money that I'm going to get. What's that going to create in the meeting room and for the running back coach? I mean, there's just a lot of different tentacles that I think are going to come off of this that we really don't know.